on this warm and sunny Friday evening, the next to last week of the regular season. We welcome you to Danville High School for a non-conference baseball get-together. The Warriors at 9-11 take on the Eagles of South Putnam to check in at 3-12 of the season. Today's game presented by Endeavor Communications on the ISC Sports Network, alongside Mike Walensky. My name is Greg Rakestraw. Thank you so much for joining us. And Mike, this is a Danville program led by a state championship coach in Pat O'Neill, dating back to his days at Brownsburg as one of over 400 games as a high school baseball coach here in the state of Indiana. He's got some senior talent. He's got a pitcher getting ready to come back off of Tommy John surgery, and they seem to be hitting their stride at the right time of the season.
Yeah, Greg, they've won 5 of their last 7 ball games. Pitching is key for this ball club, and the key for them is who's going to pitch in the first game of sectionals. They're going to play the winner of the Brebeuf-Greencastle game. Brebeuf is an outstanding baseball program. As you pointed out off there, they may have a first-round pitcher setting up in that sectional. But if they can get good pitching, and all it is one game, they can advance. But I think they also have balance. Today we've got a freshman pitching for the Danville Warriors in Caleb Miller. This is going to be key for him to get a good start here for the Warriors and get another W.
We have a good problem to have. We have had this amazingly warm and dry week, so you're getting deeper into your pitching staff, especially when you have a non-conference game coming up. Here's a look at the Eagles of South Putnam. They check in at 3-12 on the season. You see their 9-man lineup. When they are in the field, that dugout will largely be empty. They have 11 players in uniform today. Kurt Kyle's team playing a lot of freshmen. They're taking some lumps right now with the hope that brighter days are ahead for this South Putnam baseball program.
Yes, I think the focus for Kurt Kyle in his first year, having been at Cloverdale for 3 years, and I believe as an assistant for the Clovers for 11 years, is develop a solid culture of competing. They don't have the pieces right now, as you see, of being able to win a lot of games because they've been decimated with injuries. At the same time, as we know, pitching is so important. They have just been able to be in a position to find someone to throw the baseball because they've had so many injuries. And today we'll have another situation. But, that's a great opportunity for them to go from the bottom at 3-12 to build up.
South Putnam playing their 4th game in as many days. Northview beat them 13-2 on Tuesday. West Vigo 10-0 on Wednesday. Park Heritage 13-3. Those are all schools that have had really good recent baseball programs. West Vigo, of course, historically one of the better programs in the state of Indiana. This is Wyatt Mullen, a freshman who will lead things off. And to give you an idea about better times being in the future for the Eagles, as a freshman, Mullen hitting .410. So the freshman Cole Miller on the hill for Danville. Cole making his 6th appearance of the season. This is his 2nd start. He has thrown 13 1/3 innings, 1-1 his record with a 6.83 ERA, and Miller gets Mullen a chase. The high fastball, 1-1 the count.
Even though South Putnam and the Eagles are 3-12 coming to this ball game, they're hitting pretty well. They're a .286 group, and they swing the bat pretty well, and a good job by Mullis, although that one a little bit on top of it.
Eventually that ball will come down. It has to. It's the laws of physics, and once it does, the shortstop in Whitehead is over to make the play. If it was a more cloudy day, I was concerned that was going to bring rain. 1 down.
Again, with the clouds and the wind coming from right to left, a little bit more challenging situation defensively for both ball clubs. And the shortstop there, Whitehead, going to IUK, makes a nice job catching the ball.
Englund at the plate. And the stats that we had for South Putnam, which I don't believe has included this week's games, Englund was 0 for 13 on the season. Englund, a junior. Just 2 seniors on this South Putnam roster, and neither featuring in the lineup today, and the count quickly goes to 0-2. You mentioned the fact that Whitehead will play for IU Kokomo next year. One of many players that will play small college baseball off of this Danville roster. A couple of seniors also going to play college football on this Danville team. And the count now 1-2. Curveball off the end of the bat. They'll get a true hop on this turf infield. Second baseman over the first baseman. That's Poindexter to Morrell, and there's 2 down.
Trey Thompson will be critical for Danville today. He's playing catching. I think baseball, frankly, maybe even more than any other sport, is about 90% mental, and a lot of it is pitching, especially at this level. And having a good, solid catcher really helps the pitching.
Didn't Yogi Berra say that 50% of baseball is 90% mental? Something along those lines? Here's Gavin Eister, the pitcher today for South Putnam. And clearly one thing that Miller will be talked about going forward is, hey, making sure that release point is coming down. He's kind of letting that ball go early in his delivery. And with that, that's why that ball is sailing in the zone. This one finds it and sprayed foul. And the count now 1-1.
And one of the things we're going to see, at least at the top of the order for South Putnam, is they will swing the bat. So Miller will have opportunities to get to his Eagle opponents to put the bat on the ball today in this ball game.
Eister 4 runs batted in this season. Curveball that hops by the catcher, but that's of little concern on strike number 2. Next strike, that would be a problem. The count now goes to 1-2. Curveball, one hopper. Second baseman's got it lined up, and back-to-back tosses over to first, and South Putnam is retired in order here in the home, or the visiting half of the first inning. Let's bring in now the batting lineup for the home squad. That would be the Danville Warriors. We've seen a lot of second baseman Brett Poindexter in that inning defensively. He'll lead things off. Followed by Michael Carter out in left field. Caden Toney, the right fielder, bats third. Trey Morrell, the first baseman, bats cleanup. Caden Whitehead, the shortstop, bats fifth. Sam Origer, the center fielder, bats sixth. Landon Skinner, the third baseman, bats seventh. Ben Carr will DH for the pitcher, so the freshman Miller can focus on his pitching duties today. And the catcher and Trey Thompson will bat ninth for Danville. The pitcher they'll be facing for South Putnam is Gavin Eister.
And for Danville, Greg, coming into this ball game, they're hitting 272, which is lower than South Putnam. But what really makes Danville good is with Pat O'Neill's ball club is this team is very efficient defensively. If they can limit their errors and get some solid pitching in sectional plate, they've got a chance because they're a pretty good defensive unit.
Defensive alignment for South Putnam: Wells, Mullen, Courts, and Batten around the infield. Englund is the catcher. Hardwick, Glasson, and Jackman, the three defenders around the outfield. We mentioned the fact that for South Putnam, this is their fourth game of the week. For Danville, it's their third. They had a pair of conference games. In the Sagamore Conference, they frequently play Tuesday, Wednesday games, one home, one road. Play a 14-game, two-round robin schedule against all the other 7 opponents in the league. 5-4 loss in 9 at Tri-West, Danville's biggest rival, on Tuesday, and came back here and got them on Wednesday by a score of 6-5. And then Danville will make the trek west tomorrow to play a doubleheader against Northview. Again, a Northview team that maybe isn't 3A state championship good as they have been in years gone by, but has a pretty solid ball club as Northview this season.
And for Danville, playing in the Sagamore Conference, it's pretty good baseball. And to have those one-run games, I think that's very important for their development as a team and maybe help for them as they play a team like South Putnam, who's 3-12. Sometimes you kind of get the feeling, even when you're 500, you're playing a 3-12 team, that we'll just forget about them. But having those close games in the middle of the week, I think, can help Danville in this ball game. But for South Putnam, Gavin Eister, he's got to pitch well, and he's got to pitch well early. If he can establish himself early, then he's got a chance to put this Eagles ball club in a competitive situation and a chance to get their 4th win.
This is a Danville team tonight as their 21st game of the season, and they still have 6 games left to play. So even with the cool conditions and rain that we have dealt with for most of the spring, the Warriors will get a full schedule in, and that is probably in part due to this wonderful facility at which they play. And again, it is a hybrid field. It is a turf infield, other than the pitcher's mound, which is dirt, and then grass once you get to the outfield. That is not something you see a lot of at the high school level. A lot of colleges will kind of have this mix. For example, this is kind of the exact way that Indiana State is laid out: turf infield, dirt mound, grass outfield.
Well, there's no question about it. It's less work for the coaching staff when you've got this turf infield. I think they put their heart and soul into, manicuring baseball fields, and now they don't have to put as much time. I think that's a real benefit for this program.
So Eister has hopped the first two towards home plate. And time is granted.
Poindexter hitting at the top of the lineup at 288. What's really exceptional about Danville is that they've got good balance from top to bottom. There's no easy outs in this lineup. Offensively, much like South Putnam, they can swing the bat.
And Mr. Poindexter is being told, hey, that gold chain that is showing, you can't have that. So hence the reason for the delay. The costume consultant is out for Danville. That's one chain. Now the second chain is going to have to go or be tucked away as well.
There's always life lessons to be learned from baseball. And one thing that I've learned, and I was not able to express this when Pat came up to the press box to talk here, was the fact that he's a cancer survivor.
Yep.
I mean, he's an individual that has experienced some life changes and some life challenges, and he's overcome that. And I'm sure his players are looking to him for direction. He knows how to win, not only at the levels we talked about, getting the blue ring at Brownsburg, but coming here to Danville and being in a position to turn this program around. In fact, whether it's his reputation or not, in the preseason, Danville had some votes in Class 3A.
If Poindexter had taken off any more chains, he'd have been Mr. T. But back to the at-bat, and the count is 2-0. I want to say hello to those of you watching us on Comcast across the state of Indiana tonight. Thanks for spending part of your Friday night with us, enjoying some high school baseball. Fantastic crowd on hand at Danville tonight. Taken all the way, that's in for a strike, 3-1. And that's because the good folks at Danville have made tonight Staff Appreciation Night. So down the first base line, there is a series of food trucks that are here. Teachers, staff alike enjoying a beautiful weather night. And a 5-pitch walk to Poindexter. Poindexter, 5 stolen bases on the year. Here's Michael Carter, the left fielder.
Greg, Danville has 40 stolen bases on the season, so they're not a team that necessarily runs. But with young pitchers and potentially catchers who are just developing this baseball game, they may let their kids freely run, and there he goes.
Shows the bunt, and that's going to be an easy base. The throw goes down, but nowhere near in time. So Poindexter adds to that total. Give him 6 on the season. Team high is 8. Landon Skinner and Caden Whitehead have that number. So runner in scoring position with nobody out. Carter showed bunt, but he was taken all the way here. Now he'll have permission to swing. That one sails high, goes to the backstop, and Poindexter will trot his way down to third. So the count now 2-0. Carter batting .208 this season with 4 runs batted in. First baseman playing even with the bag. Third baseman holding the runner. Ground ball up the middle would score the runner from third. That's in for a strike. Mr. Carter was given the take sign at 2-0, given the fact that 6 of the first 7 pitches have been outside of the zone. And the count now 2-1. This curveball goes right back to us. Thankfully that netting is in the way, 2-2.
Considering we're early on in the ball game, there is a runner in scoring position at third base. The outfield, to me, is playing exceptionally deep. I mean, an easy base hit is going to score this run. Sometimes you might see teams playing outfielders a lot more shallow. Not in this ballpark right now. Glassness, center fielders, playing pretty deep out there.
For Eisner, this is his 5th appearance as a pitcher this season. Curveball turned on, but this one will easily turn foul.
I tell you what, another challenge here this afternoon is the sun's out. And you got to be able to deal with the sun defensively out there. It's not as easy as you think.
We are facing northeast how this field is aligned. This will score a run, and this will make its way to center field for a base hit. Give Carter his 5th RBI of the season, and Danville has jumped out to a 1-0 lead.
Now batting, number 9, Caden Tony.
So Caden Tony make his way to the plate. Tony batting .233. 2 home runs and 12 runs batted in. He will play baseball at the Division III level next year at Transylvania University, which is not in Eastern Europe. It's in Eastern Kentucky, Lexington, Kentucky. Runner goes. Tony watches him go by. Throw to second base, not in time. Ball scampers away. Runner going to try to advance. Center fielder coming on. He'll simply hold it. So a stolen base and an error.
Here comes the runner, Greg.
And nobody was covering home. And with that, Carter steals home.
Again, when you've got youth and you've got youngsters who don't normally pitch, those things are going to happen. And Danville being very aggressive, testing the catcher right on from the early beginning of the action. There it is. There's a throw. It got away from the second baseman, the shortstop covering the bag. And Danville being very aggressive, although look at the runner taking his helmet off. There he goes.
And that's because, again, the catcher had headed to third to back up a potential throw there. Pitcher remained on the mound. This is a young South Putnam team, so they're going to unfortunately make some mistakes like that.
This is a hitter, Caden Tony, that I've been familiar with. I've talked to a couple scouts, and I'm not quite sure if they talked to Pat O'Neill, but he was on the edge. He ran a 7.01 60-yard dash, which one of the measurables as far as professional baseball is concerned is the 60, and you want to look at guys around 6'7", 6'6", so he's a little bit slow, but in high school baseball Class 3A at 7.01, that's awfully fast. So this is a really good baseball player, and Transylvania is getting a good kid. And if he increases his speed, develops his strength, someday he could play professionally because I've heard he's got all the tools.
Count goes to 2-2. Reaches out, makes contact. This will be a foul ball and will eventually get into the bullpen. 3 wins this year for South Putnam. 2 of them early in the season against South Vermillion and Cloverdale. Last win came against Brown County, which was last Wednesday, May the 4th. Swing and a miss. Tony chases the high fastball, and there's one away. Trey Morrell.
Now batting, number 19, Trey Morrell.
Morrell will head to Indiana Wesleyan to play football next year for the Wildcats. Tony chased the elevated fastball.
And I watched Trey Morrell play football for Danville's ball club, and I thought it was a real pleasant surprise. He really controlled the line of scrimmage as a defensive lineman, and he also has potential to be a very good college football player. I was very impressed by his ability to take on blockers. Excellent athlete.
Danville, the 3A runners-up a year ago in football. Now 2-0. I know Coach Comer is here tonight for Staff Appreciation Night. Briefly caught up with him and his wife before the game. Both athletic alumni of the University of Indianapolis. This one wrapped foul. Third baseman and Wells gave chase, but couldn't get to it in time.
You know, it's really difficult for a new coach to take over a successful program, and Coach Comer was able to do that. When Casey left the head coaching job here at Danville, he's done a remarkable job.
This one smacked into left field for a base hit. So second hit and 4 batters to the plate for the Warriors. And now Caden Whitehead will step to the dish.
Now batting, number 14, Caden Whitehead.
Whitehead with 9 runs batted in this year and 8 stolen bases. The reference is going to play at IU Kokomo next year. Members of the River States Conference. That league was won by IU Southeast this year. And they will begin play in the NAI National Tournament next week. Runner takes off. Pitcher steps off. Throws to second. Tag. Got him. Morrell thrown out at second base. 2-4. 2 down.
Well, they're testing Harry Eaglin, the catcher, as the pitcher turned off the rubber. And a good solid tag by the second baseman there on the inside leg of the runner. Otherwise, he would have had second base.
It was Courts that applied the tag. Morrell was kind of getting some side eye from Coach O'Neill as he was cutting across him going towards the dugout. And this one ripped to left field for a base hit. So another solid single for the Warriors.
Now batting, number 16, Sam Orager.
Sam Orager to the plate. Batting .286. 4 runs batted in.
And the key for Gavin Eister on the hill for South Putnam is to keep the ball down. He's not. Everything's up in the strike zone. And Danville is doing a great job of going with the pitch and got a couple hits in this inning.
Yeah. Does bring that down a little bit and crosses the zone on his way across home plate. 0-1 the count. So 6th batter to the plate here for Danville. That hit him. Runner was going. He can stop. He's got second base. Hit by pitch. So now 5 of the 6 batters have reached for Danville, and they have run into 1 out.
Number 1, Landon Skinner.
Here's Landon Skinner. See that jersey just kind of wrinkle as it hit him on the way by.
Not a bad pitch, really, to pitch inside, but just got in the way a little bit. And I think for these young pitchers who don't normally pitch all the time, it's okay not to be perfect. You don't have to throw strikes all the time. Try to throw the ball off the plate a little bit or throw the ball inside. That was a good pitch there.
That curveball hit the top of the zone. Skinner, .319 batting average on the season, 7 runs batted in. He has stolen 8 bases. Count at 1-1. So good to see such a fantastic crowd on hand.
Boy, it is. Really nice crowd.
Ball in the dirt. Runners will try to advance. Throw to third, not in time. So both runners advance 90 feet. But the pitcher's focus can be on the batter at home plate and Skinner trying to get out of the inning.
Leighton Wells, the third baseman, playing behind the bag. The ball gets to him, and the runner breaks at third. He's going to have a chance to score easier unless he decides to move up.
3-1. Skinner thought it was ball 4. It was not.
Batting, designated hitter, number 15, Ben Carr.
So 3-1 the count. Swing and a miss. And the count goes full at 3-2. That one got away from the catcher. Runner will try to score from third. Catcher couldn't pick it properly. So it is now 3-0 in favor of Danville. And runners at first and third. That is the second walk of the inning issued by Eister. Here's Ben Carr. Carr, the DH, a junior, batting .278 this year. 5 runs batted in.
What a benefit for Danville to have a left-handed hitter near the bottom of the order hitting .278.
Runner takes second. Catcher's indifference that time with the runner at third. But again, 2 runners in scoring position for the Warriors. Popped up. Right fielder coming in, fighting the sun, couldn't make the play. That is a Sun field this time of day, and that is an error, unfortunately, against the Eagles that allows 2 more runs to score.
I talked about earlier how difficult it is to navigate with the sun, but at the same time, that's been a sore spot for South Putnam this year. Is defensively, they came in the ball game fielding well under 850, and that's just not going to give yourself enough victories. But again, they're a young ball club, first-year coach, and they've got a chance to get better.
Here's Thompson. Danville bats around here in the bottom half of the first. Thompson batting .294. If your number 9 guy's hitting .294, you're doing some things okay offensively.
No doubt about it. That's what makes Danville a threat.
Ground ball, and because the second baseman was hedging towards the runner at second, that gets through for a base hit. That will score another run. So Carr comes around to score and make it 6-0 in favor of the Warriors.
Good job of hitting. Went with the pitch, goes the opposite way for a base hit. And that's a run batted in. And he'll get a chance to take a rest as a pinch runner will check in the ballgame. And Danville's really opened up the margin here in the ballgame.
Yeah, Garrett Gross will come in to run for Thompson, who is the catcher, so he can get the gear back on. And that is as much a pace of play issue as anything else. So 6-0 now in favor of Danville as Poindexter will come back to bat. And this one misses high. Poindexter walked and stole a base and would score on the Carter base hit at the beginning of the inning. And this one sent to right field. That'll get down for a base hit. That'll get past the right fielder all the way to the wall. That should be 3. That will score a run. Here he comes rounding second base, and Poindexter into third without much of a play at third base. So a triple for Poindexter. And it's 7-0 in favor of the Warriors.
Now batting number 11, Michael Carter.
Went with the pitch, drove it into right center field by the right fielder, all the way to the wall. Look at this one as the center fielder, Glasson, had to hustle over to pick up the ball. Stand-up triple, and the Warriors have a touchdown.
They have a few of those around here, given the success of their football program. This one off the hand, shallow left field. That'll get down for a base hit. And Carter with a 2-hit inning. It's now 8 for Danville.
Now batting number 9, Caden Tony.
So Caden Tony is in danger of making the first and third outs of an inning. Your teammates will never let you live that down. He struck out some 9 batters ago. Runner goes. Tony pulverizes this one. Left fielder looks up, and that one is long gone. Well, he didn't make the third out of the inning. He sent one out to continue the inning. It is now 10-0 Danville here in the first, and Tony has his 3rd home run of the season.
He sent that one flying in left field. Again, Eister got the ball up in his eyes, and he took it home. And he drove that baseball probably about 400 feet.
Coach Kyle going to come out and talk to his young pitcher. Again, this has been a season of struggle. And Coach tells the catcher, hey, go back. I'm just going to quick conversation here. And again, once you're on day number 4, when you're playing a non-conference game, you're kind of at the mercy of what you have left, especially when you have 11 players in uniform today, as is the case for South Putnam. So one of those things we kind of say, hey, go out there and do the best you can. Looks like there might be a pitching change coming here. Looks like the shortstop in Mullen is going to come in and swap spots with the pitcher in Eister. So with that, let's go and take a quick timeout. We'll come back, new pitcher on the mound for South Putnam. Warriors have put a 10 spot up in the first as they lead, presented by Endeavor Communications on the ISC Sports Network.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
So Wyatt Mullen, the shortstop, will come into pitch. As Eister faced 12 batters, and unfortunately, 10 of them came in to score.
Yeah, Danville really swung the bat well in the top half of this inning. And again, for South Putnam, coming into this ball game at 3-12, they had to have Eister pitch well early on the ball game, and unfortunately, it didn't happen. And as we talked about, Danville's pretty darn good offensively. And they tested the catcher right off the bat. They were running. They were very aggressive. Good job by Pat O'Neill having his Warriors prepared for this ball game today.
So Morrell was thrown out at second base. Got picked off. Pitcher would kind of force him towards second and throw over to second to get the out. Comes up with the bases empty here. That's in for a strike. Morrell backed out of the batter's box, but you have to get the approval of the home plate umpire for time to be called, and that was not the case. This one smacked towards the third baseman. Didn't do much to knock that one down. Morrell will make the long turn at first, but stay right there. And the hit parade continues.
Number 14, Caden Whitehead.
That was a hot smash. I mean, that was a really bullet down the left field line.
That is the 8th base hit and 13 batters to the plate for Danville. Whitehead singled and scored first time up. And this one sent towards right center. Right fielder will watch this one. Ball in front of him for a base hit. Morrell will get the windmill. Runner will stop at second base. Throw cut off, no play at the plate. And it's 11. So Whitehead has a 2-hit inning.
And you can see why Whitehead is an excellent baseball player, going to play at IU Kokomo because he's a solid leader, good defensive player at shortstop, and he swings the bat well. And another double for the Danville Warriors.
Here's Origer. Hit by a pitch last time up. And would score a run as well. Off speed. Had him tied in knots. 0-1 the count. And a swing and a miss. Counted 0-2. Last 11 batters have all reached for Danville. Just missed. 1-2. Four, 5, and 6 coming up this time through for South Putnam. And this one gets away from the catcher. Runner, though, stays put at second base. And you might be seeing some of the unwritten rules of baseball starting to be enacted here early with an 11-run lead in the first inning in terms of kind of taking extra bases. I can guarantee you Coach O'Neill is not trying to run up anything from a score perspective in today's game. And this one sprayed foul, heads up down the food truck line. I came for burrito and I got a foul ball. 2-2. Curveball falls in a beauty, and the inning is over. But it was a hit parade for the Warriors. 11 come to score, end up sending 15 to the plate in the bottom of the first. They lead South Putnam 11-0. As you're watching, presented by Endeavor Communications, right here on the ISC Sports Network.
You have enough on your plate. Let McAllister Rentals' wide selection of equipment help. With an extensive equipment selection and experienced people, McAllister Rentals in the Cat Rental Store is your one-stop shop for all your equipment needs. You know we can help you with the big jobs, from moving dirt to getting you in the air. But did you also know that we can handle your smaller equipment needs with equipment like generators and water pumps? McAllister Rentals has made its mark with locations throughout Indiana and now Michigan. We pride ourselves on our reliable equipment, fast service, and knowledgeable people. Visit us online today or give us a call. McAllister Rentals, helping build Indiana since 1945.
Let's thank our tremendous ISC Sports Network crew. Thank you, Jordan Shue, Alan Hughes, Dennis Glover, Rob Lynch, Eldon Wheeler, Vincent Morelez, the rest of our ISC crew today, alongside Mike Walensky. Greg Rakestraw with you. 11 runs for Danville in the home half of the first inning. Again, Danville's a 500 team this year, but again, I think, frankly, a better team than their record indicate. They're getting back one of their better pitchers in Wesley Wright, who is yet to pitch this year. He's scheduled to start at some point this coming week for Danville. Like I said, they've got a busy week coming up. And it's a South Putnam team that has taken their lumps this year. Very young team. Aiden Batten will lead things off this time around.
Aiden Batten, according to Coach Kyle, is the best offensive player, or one of them, on this South Putnam ball club. And much like a lot of other players in this club, he's been moved around, played a lot of positions.
Well, the numbers would back that up, batting .433 with 13 runs batted in. Starting first baseman. Miller, I'm sure, has been told, young man, we have an 11-run lead, throw strikes.
Yeah.
And Large did a good job of that. Had a couple of ground balls to second and a sky-high pop-up to the shortstop in his first three batters faced. Batten turns on this one, right fielder. Tony has a beat on it and able to fight through the sun to make the play. There's one down. Now Jackman to the plate.
From a position standpoint, the outfield for Danville playing a lot more shallow than their opposition here, South Putnam. And a really nice job by the right fielder, just tracking that baseball, took a couple steps, and an easy out.
By the way, 315 down each of the lines, 350 to the power alleys. And an extended wall in center field for the batter's eye. And while no official marking, my guess would be 375, 380.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful facility. I want to thank Amy Harvey and the rest of the good folks at Danville for having us out today. The count now 2-0. Swing and a miss at the 2-0 pitch by Jackman. We had a chance to see the Warriors 3 times last season. And they won all 3 games that we had them. Swept a doubleheader against North Montgomery, and we had their sectional opener versus Greencastle, a win at Brebeuf a season ago. And you referenced Brebeuf being in their sectional again this year. Brebeuf led by Andrew Dukanich, who is thought to be one of the best pitching prospects, not just in Indiana, but really around the country from a high school perspective. He's verbal to play at Vanderbilt. Count runs full at 3-2. Swing and a miss. Good job to battle back by the freshman hurler, and Miller gets his first strikeout of the day. 19th in limited innings this season. And there's 2 down.
Number 15, Kyle Glasson.
Kyle Glasson now will come to the plate. Glasson, the center fielder, batting .355 with 7 runs batted in this year.
Glasson's had to play a lot of outfield positions for the Eagles this year.
He did go, couldn't hold up. He's in for a strike. Chases that one, 0-2 the count. Now the job for Miller could be as much to eat innings as anything as you can, knowing this is your third game of the day. You got a bunch coming up next week. Third game of the week, I should say. And a doubleheader tomorrow. Working effectively and efficiently is the freshman so far. And gets a little help by Glasson chasing that one out of the zone. Back-to-back strikeouts, and Miller has retired all 6 batters he has faced. 11-0 Warriors come to bat when we come back, as you're watching, presented by Endeavor Communications on the ISC Sports Network.
Leaps ahead, still on his feet. Stevens lunges. Are you kidding me?
Champions of Marion County. Unbelievable!
Touchdown.
Living up to that last name.
Wabash has the lead for the first time today.
Said that was going to be a highlight reel.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, you can celebrate after that.
Now, did you have a chance to stop in and get a beef and bean burrito on your way past the food trucks today?
I did not.
I would, if you want to take a half inning off, you go get us a couple of burritos, I'm cool with that. I can go solo for a little while. Just saying. That was dinner for me about 5:15, and it was quite tasty. One of the food trucks that was here today. I want to thank our friends at Endeavor Communications. Endeavor, part of each of these 2 communities in both Danville and South Putnam. Endeavor has the fastest internet around for homes, business, and education. Find out more at weendeavor.com. Looks like Batten will move to the catcher's position. So some positional changes here for South Putnam. Also, Ashton Nichols will enter the game at the first baseman spot. And again, as Mike has alluded to, that's kind of been the norm this year for South Putnam. Young team, you're just trying to compete the best you can, learn the game at the same time. Nichols just a freshman. And for some kids, in terms of travel baseball and things like that, you can play more games than you ever have before. But you also have a lot of high school varsity programs that get kids that really haven't played that much Little League baseball. I've got a buddy of mine in the coaching profession that talks about he has to remind himself that he's got kids at a varsity level that really haven't played the game before. And so there are, he's doing a lot more basic fundamental teaching than he thought he would as a varsity baseball coach. Here's Skinner. Skinner walked and scored last time up. 7, 8, and 9 to up this time through for the Warriors. Batten is having his gear, making sure it's strapped up properly. Home plate umpire always takes care of the catcher and vice versa. And that's what's going on right here. Got that taken care of. It's in for a strike. By the way, England currently out of the game, who was the catcher. He is one of the 2 players in the dugout. This one, ground ball, shortstop. Has a play, good looking arm, and gets him. That's Wyatt Mullen. That wasn't Mullen. That was the starting pitcher in Eister who replaced Mullen at shortstop. Good play, 1 down.
Yeah, Eister is pretty patient back there at shortstop. Took a little crow hop, throw down the first base.
And that
pretty
ball's
nice
going to get on you a little quicker. Sorry, Mike.
You bet.
On that turf,
yes,
you can afford to wait a little bit, frankly.
Yep. It'll take a hop right to you, but it's fast. And that was an advantage there. But he also, as you pointed out, showed a nice gun.
I can hear 15 of the league coaches screaming, "Hey, go get the ball!" Turf, you can
Right.
wait back a little bit if you want to. Here's Carr, popped up. That'll reach the seats. Carr had the ball that could have ended the inning on the 8th batter for Danville. That, again, Jackman and right, that's the sun field, is right field right now. And got his glove to it, but couldn't snag it because of the sun. And that was kind of the avalanche that really opened the floodgates for Danville in the first inning. Swing and a miss. And this is the first time these guys are seeing Mullen on the mound. Curveball, foul tip. Catcher couldn't pick it properly, so the count remains 2-2. Curveball got him. Back-to-back outs. Two away.
From our perspective back here, what looks like is that Mullen's getting more movement on his pitches.
Sure.
There's no question about it. And he's gotten his breaking ball over for strikes, so that's a real key thing here in this ball game early on in the second period.
This one, ground ball. Second baseman's got it. Tosses over to first, and after giving up 11, a 1-2-3 bottom of the second, authored by Mullen. Through 2. Danville in control 11-0, presented by Endeavor Communications, here on the ISC Sports Network.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications, technology for real people.
Look at the crowd that we have here again. Staff Appreciation Night, food trucks certainly help, but also having a lot of folks at a sporting event is not atypical for Danville. There is a reason our television cameras are here on a regular basis, because their teams tend to be good and their community support is always outstanding.
Yes, it is. It's phenomenal.
7, 8, and 9 coming up this time through for South Putnam. Uriah Courts, second baseman. Leighton Wells, third baseman. And Isaiah Hardwick, the left fielder. The trio of batters due up for South Putnam.
And Greg, it looks like we've got Drew Schreier catching now, unless he's going to check out of the ball game, number 21.
I kind of think he's just waiting for Thompson to get the gear on.
Yeah,
yep.
he keeps looking back.
Yep.
Here we go.
Thompson was the last batter, so.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
Thompson's need to be there for one pitch to throw it down to second base, and we will get underway.
There's something in the water here in Danville, because they are successful virtually in every sport that we've covered here, whether it's girls basketball, boys basketball, football, soccer, baseball. It's a winning community.
Here's Uriah Courts. Courts, a junior. First 6 batters up, 6 retired, 2 strikeouts for Miller. Looking for his second win of the season. This is his second start, his 6th appearance in total. And he, to a freshman, fastball hits the inside corner. Strike call. And that one gets away from the catcher. 1-1 the count. Two and one.
I tell you, Michael Carter, the left fielder for Danville, is very, very shallow out there. He's looking to take something away here from the hitter.
A little high on that one. 3-1. And that's kind of where Miller was missing early in the game. He'd miss high. Didn't have that problem in the last inning. Got the corner. And I can tell you when it's an 11-run game early, the strike zone's going to get a little bigger. Going in both directions. Full count. Strike 3 call. Caught him looking. Good bounce back by the freshman. He has struck out 3 successive South Putnam batters. Here's Leighton Wells. I think he's able to hold up on that. They'll ask the first base umpire, and I agree. Able to stop the swing. 1-0 the count. That's in for a strike. The count at 1-1. Got one more Endeavor baseball game for you this year. That is next Wednesday. This one off the end of the bat foul, and count now runs to 1-2. We will see the I-70 series between Cascade and Monrovia. We had the softball version of that on Tuesday night, and that was a fun game. And again, if you've not seen Cascade's baseball and softball facility these days, oh my goodness. Turf fields for both. Count it now 2-2. Chris Walker will join me for that one on Wednesday. Just a little bit low. Full count. Really the first time that Miller has missed in that spot today. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Well, to Miller's credit, he's gotten behind some hitters, but he's figured out a way to continue to get those outs. He's retired the first 8 batters he's faced, and there's 2 away.
Yeah, Cole Miller's battle. There's a nice pitch. He got some movement on it over the inside half, and he just sawed off Wells there at the plate and got himself another strikeout.
Isaiah Hardwick, sophomore, watches that fire in for a strike.
And you mentioned strike. He's been throwing a lot of strikes in this ball game, with the exception, as you noted, a few. One pitches high and away outside. But he's had good command.
Hardwick got tied in knots on that one. And the count at 0-2. Had a chance to watch a little bit of the South Putnam team when they played North Putnam a couple of weeks ago. Hardwick gives chase. Catcher will have to throw on to first base. Does so, and once again, 3 up and 3 down for South Putnam. I'll continue that thought when we come back. It remains 11-0 in favor of the Warriors. Back in a moment on the ISC Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on ISC Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now, because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not going
before.
to happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, so many places to watch Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
Once again, let's thank our friends at Endeavor Communications. They offer a variety of internet speeds that fit your family or business needs. Surf the internet faster than ever before with internet speeds up to a gig. Give them a call or give them a visit on their website at weendeavor.com for more information. Alongside Mike Walensky, Greg Rakestraw with you. Thanks to our friends at McAllister's. We promised that Rob Lynch got up that high of his own volition. We did not. We let him determine exactly how high up he wanted to go in the lift today, and he apparently tried to touch the moon all the way up there. But we have lifts for our center field camera, our first base camera, and clearly what we refer to as the high home plate camera. That's our ground floor apartment right there. That's the look inside the third base dugout for Danville. As always, thanks to our tremendous ISC Sports Network crew that we could not do these games without. I get so much great feedback from viewers across the state of Indiana, and because I'm the guy that yaps all the time, I'm the one that ends up getting referenced. But trust me, my job is easy because these great folks do their job tremendously well each and every time. Here's Poindexter, 1-2-3, coming up this time through for Danville. Poindexter went to the plate twice, scored twice in that 11-run first inning for the Warriors. He doubled his last time up. This is the first time that he has faced Mullen, and that fastball pops the mitt for strike number 1. One and one the count. Now 2-1. I was referencing the fact that I had a chance to watch a little bit of this South Putnam team play a few weeks ago. The day that we were at South Putt to televise their softball game with North Putt, the baseball team was playing North Putt that same day. One of the more competitive losses that South Putnam has had this year. That was an 8-6 defeat at home. Back on Wednesday, April 20th. The 3-1. Popped up. That'll reach the seats. And the count goes full at 3-2. Staff appreciation night was apparently not catch a foul ball night.
I don't think so. There was one fan I noticed. He stood up. He was really excited about having a chance to catch the ball. And then all of a sudden, he just backed away.
Nope.
He got scared.
Did not want the smoke.
Nope.
That misses high, and Poindexter works a walk for a second time tonight. That's the first walk that has been issued by Mullen in what is his 7th batter faced. Here's Carter. Single twice, scored twice. Has an RBI to his credit. Turns on this one. 0-1 the count. Again, you saw some stolen bases in the first inning. I think Danville will hold off on that now with a double-digit lead here at this stage of the game. Yeah, Poindexter's getting a good lead, but just taking an extra step when the ball's delivered home and waiting to move along if Carter can help push him towards second.
The other thing, Greg, is batting behind home plate. He's got a strong arm back there. I'm not going to run against him. He's a pretty good catcher defensively for the Eagles.
Kind of 1-2. Outfield playing slightly to pull here, understandably so, with the number 2 hitter at the plate. Could not catch up, though, with the off-speed pitch. The curveball has been dialed in for Mullen, and there's one away.
Now batting, number 9.
That's his 3rd strikeout.
Well, a really nice pitch. Pulled the string there. Took about 20 miles an hour off that pitch. Might have been in the high 60s. I think it appears to be. We don't have a gun out here. Appears to be he's in his mid 80s probably. Nice job.
Here's Tony. Runner does go on that one.
Look
and
out.
This one towards the track, towards the fence. Gone again. And Tony has his 2nd home run of the game. Well, he struck out his first plate appearance. Since that time, he has gone deep to left field twice. And it's a baker's dozen for Danville.
And he put that one high in the air, and the wind actually aided that ball and carried it over the fence. I think the first home run he hit was out of strength. This one, it just got up, and it took off, and it went. And he knew it right there. It's gone.
So 2 home runs for Tony. He had 2 on the year for the soon-to-be Transylvania Pioneer. Mike, you know that where he is going to school is the oldest university west of the Alleghenies.
Is it really?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Morrell pops that one straight back. Rob Lynch, having formerly worked in Lexington a lifetime ago, is nodding his head in accordance. He knew that up there in the tree of knowledge behind home plate.
I'll add something to that. The one person I remember coming from Transylvania was the late Lee Rose, who was
Former
the last
Purdue head coach.
Yeah, the last coach who took Purdue to the Final Four in 1980. Lee was the head basketball coach at Transylvania before he went to Purdue, and then when he was at Purdue, he recruited a kid out of Lexington, Scooby Scarce. They had a nice couple-year run before he left and went back south to develop the South Florida program.
Curveball, a beauty.
I don't think you're going to see someone from Purdue go to South Florida these days.
No, nope.
Things have really changed dramatically over the years.
Kind of 1-2. Morrell has a pair of singles and a run scored today.
Actually, Lee went from Transylvania to UNC Charlotte, and then from Charlotte he went to Purdue. But he started out his head coaching career at Transylvania.
Curveball broke a little late, 2-2 the count. Transy is where Tony will play next year. That's Division III. That's in the Indiana kind of Division III league. So they got a chance to play a lot of games here locally.
It's Heartland.
Correct. Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference. In fact, they're playing their conference tournament up at Kokomo's Municipal Stadium this weekend on the turf. Full count. Pops up. This should have reached the seats.
And I have to say, you know, as far as collegiate sports throughout the state of Indiana at any level, it's a bargain. You're going to see really good sports at NAIA, Division 3, 2, 1. There are programs in every community throughout the state that you can have a chance to watch. But even more so, what the beauty is what we see at the high school level. It's phenomenal. What a bargain. These folks are having a great time out here at Danville tonight. Fantastic.
A walk, a strikeout, and a home run this inning. Morrell will get at least one more pitch as he rolls that one foul. Morrell, 3 home runs, 18 runs batted in, entering today's game. Hopper, that's a fair ball. Batten will pick it up, sling it down to first. There's 2 down. The 2-3 put out. I think Morrell was convinced that was a foul ball, and no, that's not.
14, Aiden Whitehead.
Only if it hits you in the batter's box or in foul territory is that a foul ball. So here's Caden Whitehead. Whitehead a single and a double. Whitehead an RBI, his last plate appearance. And that misses.
What was really intriguing for me there is Batten's throw down to first base. I've said before, this kid's got a really good arm. He's an excellent catcher as far as arm strength is concerned.
Now 2-0. Of course, we're in run rule territory here. You have to play at least 4.5 with Danville being the home team. That one, did it clip him? I think it did. Yep, got the jersey. So Whitehead will get the free pass to first. That is the second hit batsman by a South Putnam hurler today.
Now batting, number 16.
The other one, and Sam Origer will come to the plate. You saw that jersey kind of tussle on the offering by Mullen. Origer turns on this one. Left fielder at the track, makes the catch.
Boy, he gave that a ride.
Left fielder was playing about 2 steps in front of the track, and sometimes the ball finds you. Catch made, inning over, but tack on 2 more for the Warriors, and they lead at 13-0 after 3. As Caden Toney has gone big fly twice. As you're watching high school baseball presented by Endeavor Communications here on the ISC Sports Network.
Want lightning fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa. From last to fast. And wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town. So you can download huge files in a flash. Stream videos at blazing speeds. And game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast and contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.
High school baseball on the ISC Sports Network, a presentation of Endeavor Communications. Business phone solutions, more than a phone system. Endeavor offers a hosted, unified communications solution that gives businesses the ability to be accessible anytime, anywhere, on any device. Find out more at weendeavor.com. So Miller on for his 4th inning of work. This is Mullen that is due up. Then it looks like it is Nichols that will be the player that will come to bat next. That was England's spot in the lineup the first time through. By the way, the young man that caught that ball in left field, that is Hayden Lambert. So South Putnam has gotten all 11 of their kids into the game already at this stage. Here's Mullen. And Mullen, just a freshman. He clearly is a building block of this program going forward. Sprays this one. Shallow right. Morrell gives chase. Right fielder trying to give an effort. And oh my goodness, let's hope everybody's all right. That was a new right fielder that was just in the game. That's Will Woolsey. And Morrell, we talk about the fact that is a young man that's going to be on scholarship to play football going forward. So if he hits you, he's going to make an impact. So that's kind of a no man's land pop-up.
I wonder if Morrell has contacts, something, or maybe he's looking for sunglasses on the ground. Boy, he cut himself up pretty good there. That was a really tough play because the wind kind of played with it. Take a look at this one. And Morrell hit his head against Woolsey.
Obviously, they're going to check on Morrell to make sure he's all right, but I was concerned for both of them, but see Drew Schreier coming out. Not sure if that's just with a pair of sunglasses or basically to tell Trey, hey, why don't you go ahead and sit this one out for the rest of the way. I think it's just a fresh pair of shades. Well, let's see. Nah, I think, Morrell's done for the night.
Ooh.
Well, no, he's not. Yep, now he's giving up the ghost. Okay. Again, in a 13-0 game, I hope you not take a chance with a young man's health regardless, but especially in a 13. Hey, just
take him out, have a seat, relax.
We'll hopefully see you tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe some ice.
So Drew Schreier now will enter at first base. Woolsey was in right field. That was Caden Toney's spot. And the trainer already out immediately. Fabian Munoz for Danville to make sure that Morrell is okay. So new first baseman in. You hear the confirmation for home plate umpire letting South Putnam know what the change is. So we go back to the at-bat, which is all of one pitch old. 0-1.
South Putnam got the draw of the sectional. They'll have a return matchup with North Putnam.
And if they could beat their rivals in the sectional, that would make their season.
Yeah.
Curveball misses. 1-2. Of course, the sectional pairings for baseball was 2 weeks ago on Sunday. One pairing show left to go. That's girls tennis, which will be on Monday night. I might be privy to those schedules. 2-2. That one misses low. So full counting, and South Putt has yet to have a base runner on today. Mullen, a sky-high pop-up to the shortstop. And Whitehead his first time up. This one a foul ball back our general direction.
Greg, it's interesting to me how the Warriors have scouted South Putnam because they've been moving their outfielders around. The center fielder now is in right center. They have this hitter, Wyatt Mullen, at the top of the order, swinging late, although he just rips in the hole.
Diving effort, base hit.
How do you like that?
So Mullen, first hit, first base runner of the game. And the leadoff man is aboard for South Putnam.
Just as I thought, they had him positioned, hitting late. Around to the right, the outfielder, he pulls it. Good job.
Here's Ashton Nichols.
That's a nice job of hitting there.
Nichols in England's spot in the lineup. England was the starting catcher. Fastball misses high. So Nichols, yet another freshman, getting playing time for South Putt.
Wow, he is really behind that pitch.
And the count 1-1. Eister on deck, and that would have been in the strike zone for Nichols if you were about 9'6". 1-2. My favorite line from Cheers. What are you up to, Norm? My ideal body weight if I were 11 feet tall. Count is 1-2. Nichols able to lay off of that one. 2-2 the count. And got the zone.
Wow.
Across the letters. That is the 6th strikeout. Last 6 outs for Miller have all been by way of the K, and there's one down.
Miller had Nichols' number throughout the course of this batting engagement. He just didn't look comfortable from the very beginning. Swung at a couple bad pitches and was way behind.
So here's Eister. Hit a couple of hopper to the second baseman his last time up. And while the end result's been outstanding for Miller, again, considering he's a freshman pitching varsity, you love what you see. He's got to work on bringing that ball down in the zone a little bit more. That's where he has missed. He has missed high in this game. 2-0 the count. And just his second varsity start. Came in at 1-1 with an ERA in the 6s. Swing and a miss. Batten now catching awaits on deck for South Putt. And this one sent to right field. Right fielder had it played perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
That's Woolsey. There's 2 away.
Now batting number 44, Aiden Bolton.
Here's Aiden Batten. Hit one of the right fielder his last time up. This one sprayed towards left center. Center fielder drifting around and couldn't snag it.
Oh boy.
So Batten will stop at first. That'll be the first error of the game against Danville. And the wind was playing havoc with that one for sure, but one that should have been the end of the inning.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, Greg, Batten stays at first base. He does not advance to second on that fly ball. I don't think he was anticipating that the ball would be dropped out there. Otherwise, I think he might have been flying around first base, headed towards second.
That is Chris DiBenedetto that was in that spot. That was Sam Orger's spot in the outfield to begin the game. So Coach O'Neill, all right, trying to get as many of his reserves in the game as possible. Here's Jackman. He was the first strikeout of Miller's on the night. Offers a wave at that upstairs fastball, 0-2 the count.
I believe that Jackman's father is an assistant for this South Putnam baseball club.
That would be Bill down the first base line.
Yep. And again, staff's in their first year.
And that is a swing and a miss, and the inning is over. So South Putnam does get their first couple of base runners of the game. They also get their first base hit. Still a 0 on the board. And the Warriors come to bat for potentially a final time tonight. 13-0 heading to the bottom of the 4th. As you're watching, presented by Endeavor Communications on the ISC Sports Network.
You have enough on your plate. Let McAllister Rentals' wide selection of equipment help. With an extensive equipment selection and experienced people, McAllister Rentals and the Cat Rental Store is your one-stop shop for all your equipment needs. You know we can help you with the big jobs, from moving dirt to getting you in the air. But did you also know that we can handle your smaller equipment needs with equipment like generators and water pumps? McAllister Rentals has made its mark with locations throughout Indiana and now Michigan. We pride ourselves on our reliable equipment, fast service, and knowledgeable people. Visit us online today or give us a call. McAllister Rentals, helping build Indiana since 1945.
Kids having a good time here.
They're mixing it up. There's no doubt about it. Having a great time.
7, 8, and 9 coming up this time through. I'm sure we're going to see some new faces in the lineup for Danville. Just waiting for Batten to get the gear back on. He was on the base paths at the end of the inning. Oftentimes you get the courtesy runner, but when you're down to only having 11 guys in uniform for a given game, and the catcher's one of your better athletes, literally the pitcher and catcher were the guys on the base paths, so they're taking some time to get the gear back on. And clearly those two guys are watching the game on the ISC Sports Network right now.
They very well may be, and that's a good thing because I think we're going to get some action here in the bottom of this inning. We're going to have a real battle because I think that this youngster, Wyatt Mullen, is starting to throw the ball really well. They have to be very pleased with their pitcher on the hill. Starting to settle in quite well. They need some runs.
Looks like Noah Origer will be a pinch hitter up this inning. I think Isaiah Weston also going to get an at-bat here. Coach O'Neill trying to get as many of his reserves an opportunity, whether it's in the field or in the batter's box tonight. Danville coming in at 9 and 11 on the season, playing their best as of late. This is the Danville team that dealt with a 7-game losing streak, which is not what Coach O'Neill is accustomed to. They've been playing better baseball as of late. And clearly have had little trouble in tonight's game, scoring 11 in the home half of the first and tacking on 2 more. Caden Toney, 2 home runs tonight. And he's been lifted at this point of the contest already. So here is Noah Origer, a freshman. Sam got the start, a senior. This is in Landon Skinner's spot in the lineup. Mullen has now thrown 2 1/3 innings in relief. He's allowed 3 runs, 2 of them earned. The count goes to 2-0.
In high school baseball, much as like any other sport, it's not really how you start, but how you finish. And the way Danville's playing, they've got a chance. It's there. They are finishing strong.
Count now at 3-0. Taken all the way. That's poured in for a strike. Origer should get a pretty good pitch to hit here. That's in for a strike. This is Origer's 4th varsity appearance of the year. He has 2 plate appearances. He is 0 for 2. Foul that one back. Curveball misses. Origer works a walk.
Number 24, Isaiah Weston.
Just the second one of those that Mullen has given up. And here is Isaiah Weston. Now, Isaiah is a pitcher for Danville. Do not have him as having an at-bat this year. And he is sitting in the DH's position. This is Carr's spot in the lineup.
I don't think we're going to see this with Danville up 13-0, but one thing I've noticed from both these ball clubs is very few, from a statistical standpoint, they don't put the ball on the ground. They don't bunt very often. It's something that's becoming, I think, in baseball to some degree a lost art.
Weston. He was trying to hit that ball to try West on that one. 0-1 the count. When you haven't had a chance to swing all year, you're not going to get cheated. Heads up.
Interesting from the standpoint that he's choking up on the bat just a little bit. He's giving himself a chance for a little bit more bat speed versus power, yet, as you just talked about, he has a big swing.
Counted 0-2. I was going to say he saw fastball. I was thinking the off speed was coming, just Mullen couldn't locate it. Oregon, good lead at first. Weston will see at least one more. By the way, Ethan Walls is on deck. Another pinch hitter going to be coming up here, and the next batter for Danville. That is Thompson spot in the lineup. Out of the zone, 2-2. Just missed, 3-2. Weston trying to work his at bat for everything it's worth. Strike 3.
Excellent.
Not caught
pitch.
looking.
Yeah, that was a really nice pitch on the outside half. Give Mullen a lot of credit there. He battled.
So that's his 4th strikeout.
Number 7, Ethan Walls.
So here's Walls. Walls, a junior.
Number 22, Tyler Johnson.
Walls on the season. Has appeared in 15 games. Officially 2 for 19 with 4 runs scored. That is the 3rd pinch hitter in a row we've seen from Danville here in the bottom of the 4th. And this one sails high. Mullen immediately taps his chest and it's my fault. Blake Summerlot is on deck for Danville. This one turned left field. Left fielder at the fence. That's off the base of the wall. Rowe comes into the shortstop. Runner will stop at 3rd. But a double for Ethan Walls. His 3rd hit of the season. His first extra base hit of the season. And runners at 2nd and 3rd.
I thought Walls did a pretty good job of balancing in the batter's box. He didn't bail out. He kept his back leg down, turned his hips, and drove the ball. Good job of being confident and driving the ball into the gap for an extra base hit.
So here is Blake Summerlot. Summerlot does not have an official at bat this year. He has appeared in, this is his 8th game, so that tells you he has largely done some pinch running and some courtesy running for the Warriors. He scored twice. That's in for a strike. Jack Warner awaits on deck for Danville. So if you're in the dugout tonight, there's a good chance you've had a bat in your hands at some point. Curveball popped up. Shortstop backing up. Left fielder playing really deep. Nice catch made by the shortstop. Great basket play. That's well done. That is Eister. Able to track it down for the 2nd out of the inning.
It was a great play by Eister, but as I've noted throughout the course of this game, South Putnam's outfielders are playing exceptionally deep. There's no way left fielder was going to get to the ball, but Eister came up with a great play.
So 2 on and 2 down. This was Carter's spot in the lineup. This is Jack Warner. Warner, a freshman. Warner playing in his 9th game of the year. He is 3 for 9 at the plate. Has a double on the season and a couple of runs batted in. Ball got away from Batten. Runner will try to score from third. No play.
And that is not what South Putnam wished for, to try to keep this game within reach. They just cannot give up any runs whatsoever.
So make it 14-0. And now the charge for South Putnam would be to score 5 in the top of the 5th to keep it going. That's in for a strike, and Mullen pops them in about as powerfully as he has all evening long. Just missed. 2-1 the count. 6, 7, and 8, by the way, the batters due up for South Putnam in the top half of the 5th. Oops. Now we hit him. So we'll see another new batter, and this was a young man that we saw in right field last inning, Will Woolsey. We'll get to hit in Tony's spot. Woolsey appearing in his 12th game of the year.
Boy, that pitch's going to sting.
Yep.
That's going to hurt. It may not hurt right now, but later tonight, it looks so easy up there, you know? Looks like, it's no big deal. But I tell you, getting hit by a pitch that fast, that hard, he's going to have a nice little welt on his leg.
Woolsey on the year. 0 for 3 with a run scored. He took quite the tumble when he and Morrell connected. Woolsey pops this one up. Batten trying to find it. This is going to be behind our broadcast location, the press box.
If Danville can get the right back in the mix here, with Woolsey being a left-handed pitcher, I mean, they're going to be tough when they get to sectionals. If, in fact, we see Brebeuf beating Greencastle, because you got to have two solid pitchers. And Woolsey's had a really good year this year throwing the baseball.
Popped up. Shortstop. Drifting.
Oh, boy.
Trying to find it. Couldn't do it. And now two runs will score for Danville. And he made a basket catch kind of over his shoulder already this inning, but couldn't do it a second time. It's now 16 for Danville.
That ball was almost impossible as he turned twice. And again, much like the last ball that was hit out there, although he made a great play, the left fielder is still playing so far back, there's absolutely no way he's going to make a play. And now Eister's going to have to do it all on his own, and that time it just didn't happen, unfortunately.
So here is Schreier, who came in to replace Morrell after he and Woolsey collided in the top of the inning. For Schreier, he is getting his first plate appearance of the year and lifts this one foul.
Yeah, the good news about this ballpark is that most of the cars are parked outside the right field or right center field wall. It's very difficult for the ball to reach out there. There's a lot of ballparks at high school baseball where parking's right behind home plate.
Schreier, ground ball, third baseman charges, throws over to first, and got him by a step, and the inning is over. Danville tacks on 3 more, and the last at bat for South Putnam comes back when we come back. All Danville tonight as you're watching high school baseball presented by Endeavor Communications on the ISC Sports Network. Ball here. Harris scores. With 19 seconds left.
Big players, big boy. I'm telling you right now, that's awesome. I love it. That's the finish.
You get a layup taken and an and one. And a reminder to our fans, here on this side of town, our Endeavor Communications footprint, we've got one more scheduled baseball game to bring you this season. Remarkably, the softball season ends next weekend from a regular season standpoint. Baseball season a couple of days later. We'll have Cascade at Monrovia. Cascade has been ranked in 2A for a good chunk of the season. We'll have that game for you Wednesday at 5 o'clock, weather permitting, here on the ISC Sports Network, courtesy of our friends at Endeavor Communications. I want to thank those of you watching us across the state tonight on Comcast 81. We're going to give Miller the chance to get the complete game, 5-inning shutout win. Gave up his first hit of the game last inning to Mullen. And this is largely a reserve/JV group that is on the field now for Danville. Miller's been the starting pitcher the entire game, but pretty much as you look around the diamond, it is a reserve at every other position. There's Walls that is behind home plate. Schreier that is at first. Summerlot that is at second. Eric Gross is at shortstop. Noah Origer is at third. Woolsey is out in the outfield. That is Warner and DiBenedetto that are the outfielders at this juncture for Danville. So off the top of my head, I think that Coach O'Neill has used 19 different players in today's game. Job well done when you have a game that got lopsided early.
You bet. And I think the beauty of that is the fact that brings up the morale of the entire ball club. You know, sitting on the bench for an entire season and not being able to play much, then having a chance, it makes you work that much harder in practice and cheer your teammates on the next game that you're on the bench.
Here's Glasson. Struck out last time up, but has a base hit this time up. Smokes this one in the left field, so a leadoff single for a second inning in a row. Seven strikeouts.
Number 14,
2 base hits allowed for Miller.
Uriah Courts.
And 1 player reached because of an error. Here's Courts. He too struck out last time up, struck out looking, in fact. And looks at a first pitch fastball go by for a strike. Danville slated to play 2 at Northview tomorrow. Curveball, a wicked bender that just falls through the strike zone. 0-2 the count. Strike 3. Courts a strikeout victim looking for a second time tonight.
Now batting number 5, Leighton Wells.
Here's Wells. Third baseman made the play to end the inning. Tossed it over to first. And again, continues to swing where he hopes to be from a height standpoint at some point in time down the road. 0-1 the count. This one much closer to the zone, but the result the same. And count now 0-2.
I don't know if you can get a camera angle on this, but Noah Origer, the third baseman, is playing really aggressive defensively. I like the way he's playing, even with the bag almost up on the turf.
Runner goes. Ground ball. Shortstop has 1 play. That'll be over to first. Good looking arm
There you go.
by the freshman and Gross. And South Putnam down to a final out of this game.
It's one thing I've talked about, this Danville ball club. They're very sound defensively. Even though they've got youngsters out there, waited for the ball to come off the turf and a nice throw over to first base. Schreier doing a good job covering to get the runner.
This was Isaiah Hardwick's spot in the lineup originally, but they made a couple of defensive substitutions. So Hayden Lambert will now bat here for the first time. We have seen Hayden out in left field. Hardwick, a strikeout victim in his 1 plate appearance. Chases that one. 0-1 the count. Lambert, a junior. Curveball, and Miller is one pitch away from facing 18 batters to get his second career varsity win tonight. Just missed off the corner. But that ball got away. That could be a play at first. Catcher won't even look at it. He'll simply let it go. So a K and a wild pitch puts runners on the corners. And the top hitter for South Putnam will have a chance to come to the plate and potentially give the Eagles a run before heading home for the evening. So Mullen singled last time up. Offering misses. And Miller had thrown 13 1/3 innings of varsity baseball on the season. He's in line to throw 5 tonight. Ground ball. Shortstop. Goes the short way to second, and the game is over. It is a shutout win for Danville, 16-0 after 4.5. Mike, your final thoughts on this one?
Well, solid pitching by Miller, and Coach O'Neill did a good job preparing his team psychologically. They approached the game from a business standpoint. They're aggressive defensively. Outfield did a good job. Hitting was excellent for the Warriors.
Tonight's game took about an hour and 35 minutes to complete, 10-11. Now as Danville on the season, South Putnam falls to 3-13. Mike, a pleasure. Let's do this again soon, shall we?
Good to see you. Enjoyed it. And a good effort for Coach O'Neill and the Warriors.
Thanks to our friends at Endeavor Communications. As always, find out more about them when you log on to weendeavor.com. And best of luck to each of these two teams the rest of the way. Next up on the ISC Sports Network, Wednesday, baseball, Cascade and Monrovia coming up at 5. We hope you join us then. Good night from Danville, and thanks for joining us right here on the ISC Sports Network.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.